sitting with a new client, and I've done my research on them, and they've been incredibly successful. They've only been going for 3 years, and yet they've got a client list to kill for. And I'm thinking, I'm not quite sure what I can add to them. I said, so why did you want to see me? He said, we have got a fabulous list of clients, absolutely brilliant. He said, our business is growing about 30% each year, but we're not making any money. I said, why? He said, because we underpriced. And he said, we've got these wonderful clients like Budweiser and Coca-Cola and Mars. And he said, we've completely underpriced ourselves in order to win the business. And he said, I'm not quite sure what to do. Now, the thing is, when we underprice, what happens is that we set a precedent. And as far as that particular client is concerned, that's the kind of benchmark that they want to pay. And therefore, talking to a client that you've worked with for 6 months or a year and saying, I now need to increase my prices by 30%, they get a little bit upset. The second thing is that when we underprice, our revenue is lower than it should be, our profitability is lower than it should be. One of the challenges, I think, for businesses is to spend more time thinking about your price. Most businesses don't. It's finger in the air. It's a mixture of voodoo and bingo in terms of trying to work out what price should I charge my clients. If you're in business and you want to make good money, you've got to think really carefully about your price, because if you don't get your price right, you're on the back foot. The thing is about price is that when you set a low price in order to attract a client, it suggests to them that your value isn't as good as it should be. Who would want to buy a cheap parachute? And in a way, you need to think about yourself as being absolutely essential to your clients, that you are the best parachute, the one that's going to help them, that you can be mission critical to their business. So I want to share some thoughts with you. And the first one is about price is a mixture of the emotional and the rational. And you've got to get the balance right between the two. Your clients want to buy you, I think, initially emotionally. When we walk into that house that we want to buy, typically it's 30 seconds to a minute or so, and we're nudging our partner going, this is the one. Complete emotional decision. Probably one of the biggest investments for most of us. And yet we then become very rational. So when I'm then explaining to a colleague, a friend, that we've just bought this house, I then say, well, it's a great investment. We can add on an extra bedroom. It's really close to the station, close to the shops, good schools. And I come up with all these rational reasons. And I think your clients initially buy you emotionally. They feel comfortable with you, but then we've got to give them the rational reasons as to why they should work with us. They'll work with you because you deliver value. So understand your value. They'll work with you because you're well differentiated. When they ask that question, yeah, why should I work with you on customer service? If you can't differentiate yourself in ways that are meaningful to that client, then they're just going to buy you on price. So we need to be really well differentiated. I would suggest that you inoculate your client about your pricing. I actually had a guy from Anglian Windows come and see me yesterday. And one of the very first things he said to me was, we are not the cheapest. And he then went on to say about the quality of their workmanship, the quality of their windows, and what he was doing was actually making me think about the risk of going with somebody cheaper. Make sure that you are dealing with a decision maker, the person who can say, yes, I want you, rather than the person who says, thank you, I'll now go and see my boss. Options. Options are really good. A gold, a silver, a bronze, a good, better, best. There's some great psychological things about threes, and our brains love that mid-position. So if I offer people a choice of 2 bottles of wine, one at £8 and one at £12, typically 2/3 of people will choose the cheapest. When I introduce a third bottle of wine, £8, £12, £18, 2/3 of people choose the middle option. It's not about the price, it's about the context. So next time, don't be so quick to give your price. Give it more consideration. As Warren Buffett said, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Sell your value. Thank you.